How to get over your fear of wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach in here, and in today's video, if you have any fear to go out there and start wholesaling real estate, this is the video for you. If you're scared to go out and cold call, if you're scared to go out there and drive for dollars, or just scared to go out there and take action in your real estate wholesaling business, this is going to be the video for you, and this is the video you're going to have to see. So before I get into it, before I actually share and break down exactly how to eliminate your fear for wholesaling real estate, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to get the most true value from me, and let's get into it. So I think one of the most important parts when you have fear for wholesaling real estate and you really want to eliminate that fear is understanding why you have that fear for wholesaling real estate. Trust me, I've completely known people who've started out in wholesaling. They're too scared to cold call. They're too scared to go out there and actually take action, door knocking, driving for dollars, or just go on their first appointment. So I understand, I talked to so many new people in it, and I remember being very fearful of my first cold call or just talk to my first seller. So I understand it. You know, the first thing you have to understand when it comes to destroying that fear is why you're fearful in the first place of wholesaling real estate. And for the most part, uncertainty is the biggest factor why you're fearful. You know, a lot of people are uncertain, like, oh, how could this cold call happen? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, something terrible could happen, or, someone curses me out, or they're mean to me, and uncertainty is the biggest problem when it comes to somebody having fear of wholesaling. And there's a lot of ways to get over that. And the number one factor to destroy fear I found is through action. I can tell you this from experience. Action is going to be the number one destroyer of your fear here. I can tell you from experience. I've dealt with so many people, thousands of people who are absolutely scared to cold call. And how do they get over it? Number one is action. But let's say this person has 100 cold calls they have to do and they just don't want to do it, or they're scared, or they just don't want to do it. How do they get over that? We have figured out around call number 20 is when that fear just completely gets eliminated and you're good to go for cold calling. This is because the uncertainty in that cold calling is gone. You know, someone's already cursed at you. Someone already said no a bunch of times. Someone's probably been mean to you, and some people have been nice, and you sort of get a feel for it, and you understand that the worst that can happen in cold calling is somebody hangs up or they say something mean, and they don't really mean it. They don't know you, so they figure out probably in call 20, it's really not that scary. You're not seeing anyone in person. If someone's doing something bad, you just click end the call. What you're doing is completely legal. There's no legal issues with cold calling. I mean, you're pretty much good to go after call 20. So about 20% of the call in, you're not really going to have that problem, and that fear is going to go away. I mean, this can be like driving for dollars. After you get your 20th lead, you knock on your 20th door, you go on your 20th appointment, you're probably going to be fine. It's really not going to be a big deal. And honestly, after about the 5th appointment, you should be fine for wholesaling. Just remember, making an action plan can be a really good strategy for destroying that fear. A lot of people are fearful, and when they don't have an action plan, it's a lot easier just to blow off, going to cold call or drawing for dollars or doing any marketing or going on an appointment. But if you have an action plan of, I must do this, you're probably going to get over that fear. Let's say you have to cold call 100 people today. If you have that as a must, something I must do, you're just going to have to get it over with. And once you hit 20, you're going to be fine. If you have maybe I'll cold call today, you're already losing the game. The importance of this is you have to go out there and make an action plan of your marketing, of your drawing for dollars, of your follow-ups, of going out there and getting deals. Creating an action plan is what you're going to have to do. Get more reps in this business. I'm telling you, the more you cold call, the more you go out there, draw for dollars, the more you go out there and talk to sellers, the more you practice this whole crazy thing of wholesaling real estate, the more reps you put in, the better you're going to be at it. I mean, how do you think Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, how do you think they got so good at shooting three-pointers in basketball? They practice. They put the reps in, okay? They put the hours in the work to get good at it, and they are extremely comfortable doing it. And that's the point. Like with cold calling, drawing for dollars, talking to sellers, I'm extremely comfortable because I've done it so many times that it's like second nature going out here and closing a deal. The most important part too with growing as a person and growing as a real estate wholesaler is being uncomfortable. When you are uncomfortable in wholesaling, cold calling, talking to a seller, getting a really hard objection, when you get super uncomfortable with that, that's when you grow the most. And that's when you become a better wholesaler. And the best part is that's when you start making a ton of money. So my tip for you here is to become uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are in wholesaling, the better you're going to be. I can promise you right now, this is what you have to do. My next recommendation here is to use a script. And you might be like, Zach, what kind of script should I use? Using a script for your cold calling, dropping dollars, talking to sellers is what you're going to have to do. Now, I'm not saying go out here, talk like a robot, like you're reading a piece of paper and just going, oh, hi, Mr. Seller. How are you doing today? No, you're going to have to go off of like your own vibe and really sort of ad-lib it a little when you're talking to a seller. But having a general script, I'm not a big person of just going line for line on the script. You don't sound naturally, you don't sound good. I mean, it's not the best thing to do, but having a general script of where the conversation should go is pretty important. So let me give you an example talking to sellers. I always tell you, I give the script of asking 4 questions, and these 4 questions, I'm telling you, you don't have to say them word for word. And if you put the conversation in this one, it's going to be better. These are the questions for qualifying a seller. So for example, one of the biggest things is knowing someone's motivations, motivation, condition, time frame, and price. So let's do motivation, for example. It's like, hey, Mr. Seller, why are you looking to sell the property? I don't have to completely say that word for word, but making sure I ask the seller why they're looking to sell the property, that's sort of a script where it gives me confidence, where I know where the conversation's going, not where I have to say word for word, because rapport building is all between you and the seller. And probably one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give to you of eliminating that fear for wholesaling is to understand this is the number one thing. And if you want to eliminate your fear for wholesaling, like right now, like right now, you have to ask yourself this one question. And if you cannot answer this question truthfully, there's nothing I can do and you should just exit out of this video. But this is what you have to ask yourself. Is my fear of not being successful in wholesaling greater than my fear of wholesaling real estate? And if you can truthfully tell you, if you are more fearful of going out there and cold calling or talking to a seller than to change your life in wholesaling real estate, change your financial destiny, changing your family's financial life, and possibly even your kids in your future and your future kids or generations to come, then just quit this business. Most people have a fear of being broke, and that is one of the biggest motivations of how I got started in this business. Now, do you think I want to go out there and put bandit signs out or talk to sellers? Those get extremely uncomfortable. But I was more fearful of working that 9-to-5 job as a bag boy, making minimum wage, scrubbing toilets. I was more fearful of that was going to be the rest of my life, not living the life of my dreams, not living the life that I deserve. I was more fearful of that than any seller out there that could call me any name in the book. I'd rather someone call me the name in the book that doesn't understand me than someone who understands me being broke and not making money, not providing the type of life that my family deserves and the life that I need to take care of my family with. That, my friend, is how you become successful. The fear of not having success is one of the biggest fears that I have in this business, and you have to have that fear. That fear is basically eliminated because I am pretty successful in wholesaling, but you have to ask yourself that. Every time you have a cold call, oh, I'm scared of cold call. Are you more scared of not having success? You got to think about this. This is the what if thing. And this is probably one of the biggest things you can take down today is ask yourself what if. That is one of the biggest drivers for success in wholesaling and one of the things that just eliminates fear. What if I don't cold call today? What if I don't talk to that seller? What if I don't go out there and conquer that fear of driving for dollars? What if that doesn't happen? What if I can't provide the type of life that my family deserves? What if I actually don't become successful? What if I have a huge regret at my deathbed that I worked 60 hours a week and I couldn't provide the type of life I wanted? I couldn't spend the type of time I had with my family. What if? If you think about that and start putting that in perspective, your life will start changing. I promise you, your life will be a completely different course. I started asking myself those types of questions and that fear got eliminated. I started marketing more. I started talking to more sellers. I started following up like crazy. I started signing more contracts. I started networking more. I started talking to more cash buyers, and I started making 7 figures in this business. Ask yourself the right questions, and your fear will be eliminated. Just remember, guys, life is short. And nobody at the end of the day is going to care. Like if you went there and cold called and didn't have success in it, nobody cares if you go out there and stumbled and you stuttered in front of the seller and you didn't get a good deal. Life's too short for that. I mean, people are superficial. They like making fun of you sometimes. There's trolls out there. I get made fun of every single day. Okay. But at the end of the day, life is short and you really have to make the decision for yourself if that fear is going to just paralyze you or you're going to overcome that fear and become the man or woman that you were meant to be. I can tell you this, the judgment of others means nothing to you. The judgment of what you think of yourself is going to be the most important. Okay. Let me reiterate that one more time. The judgment of others means nothing, okay? I don't care what your mom has to say. I don't care what your sister has to say. I don't care what your brother, girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, I don't care what they have to say. It's the judgment of yourself and the confidence that you have in yourself is going to be the key for you being successful in this business and what you can do in your life. Go out there, start living the life of your dreams, and start going at it. Guys, you are not alone in this business. I'm here to hold your hand. I'm here to help you out. You are not alone in wholesaling. Wholesaling and entrepreneurship in general, it's a lonely business. I want to be one of those guiding hands to go out there and give you the support. I believe in you. I believe you can do this. You go out there and change your life. This is some raw, get pumped up motivational stuff. This is the stuff that you need to be asking yourself. These are the questions you have to be asking yourself to get over that fear and start having success today, guys. Success is your duty. Success is what you need to do. And success is inevitable if you keep going and you keep marketing. Go out there, talk to sellers today, and get some deals. Thank you guys so much. Like this video and subscribe, and see you soon. Thank you.